Japanese sports fans will now be allowed to attend the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Organizers have decided to let up to 10,000 people into the venues until they are half full. Spectators will be asked to keep quiet and wear masks. The IOC president says he expects the vaccination rate among athletes and officials within the Olympic Village to be well above 80%. CNN Medical Analyst Dr. Leana Wen is in Baltimore with more. And Dr. Wen, great to have you on the show. I want to get your thoughts as you heard me read that story. What is your biggest concern? Can the Olympics be safe if it's hosted this way? I think we're talking about 50% capacity here, roughly.
Well, I would have preferred from a health standpoint for there to be no spectators. Look, I want the games to go on, right? We all want these athletes who have been working their entire lives to be able to compete. And there is already a risk in bringing the athletes and their coaches and all their staff from all over the world. There's a way to minimize that risk, which is to have them also do masking and quarantining and testing. But now we're introducing spectators. And look, if vaccination were required of these spectators, I would feel a lot better. The problem, though, is in Japan, only 7% of the population is fully vaccinated. And so I do really worry about, even though it's only a 50% capacity, there's definitely still the risk of spreading COVID-19.
Yeah, like you said, it's only 70% that have been inoculated. The government, though, is expecting 20% of the population to be vaccinated before the games begin. That it's still a huge risk.
Well, again, I would prefer that all those individuals who attended in person are fully vaccinated. I think in lieu of that, the government and the IOC can still do something else, which is they can also require testing on the day or 24 hours before. That would make it safer still. And I also hope that the spectators attending will wear masks indoors at all times and, very importantly, to avoid other celebratory activities. I don't want people to be wearing masks at the Olympics in the stadium only to be going to bars and restaurants afterwards and letting down their guard.
And that's a very good point you made, because it's something that we have heard from the Olympics organizers, that they don't want people to congregate and celebrate and drink in streets, etc., because obviously it makes it incredibly risky. But there are concerns, Dr. Wen, and I'm sure you will tell me this, about variants. The fear that we've heard so much that this could be a super spreader. So these steps, if put in place, could work out, preferably if they didn't have spectators, we better.
Well, I mean, I think what is the most advantageous in this case is they're saying that only individuals within Japan are able to attend. So we're not going to have international spectators. I think that will eliminate or at least reduce the risk of transmission of variants by a lot. At the same time, we do have people coming from all over the world who are athletes and staff. And so I think the risk of super spreader events and also of further spreading more contagious or more virulent variants is definitely still there.
Let me ask your thoughts on this. A Japanese research team from the National Institute of Infectious Diseases in Kyoto University and Tohoku University said the number of infections there could increase by 10,000 cumulative if the games are held with spectators versus without it. Do you see that potential? This is a potential reality?
It's certainly possible. We have seen how quickly COVID-19 spreads in crowded places when a lot of people are gathering. And we're talking about, even though it's 50% capacity, it's 50% capacity at each event. And so overall, it's not the same 10,000 people who are going to be attending each event. We're talking about potentially hundreds of thousands of people who are attending. And then they also will be interacting with friends and family members. The vaccination rate in Japan is just so low at the moment, and even when the Olympics begin. And so when you don't have that level of community immunity, you could see coronavirus spread like wildfire the way that it has throughout the pandemic.
Dr. Leana Wen, always great to get you on the show. Thanks very much.